Daniel Reiser right here, back with a review. 1999 year in review continues with 1999's Survivor Series. This was just a very bad show. Just a horrendously terrible show. The worst Survivor Series there ever was. The worst show in WWF's 1999 calendar year. Most definitely. This show is most famous for Steve Austin getting ran down by an unknown assailant. Of course, we would find out that man was Rikishi, and I'll talk about that later. First off, first match, we have the 4-on-4 Survivor Series match. The Godfather, D'Lo Brown, and the Headbangers defeating the Acolytes and the Dudley Boys. Godfather and D'Lo Brown were the sole survivors. Interesting note, Godfather's team were all wearing Pimpa tires. Kind of funny to see the Headbangers wearing fucking afros and wearing Pimpa tires and stuff. Bradshaw got disqualified by hitting his own partner. Then Devon and Farouk got counted out. Just stupid. 3 out of 10. Very match. Kurt Angle defeats Shawn Stasiak in his pay-per-view debut match. Which, interesting note here is Shawn Stasiak. This was actually his first pay-per-view match too. But nobody really cared. The WWF didn't care. The only thing Shawn Stasiak got was that he was a second-generation superstar. His father was Stan Stasiak, who was a former WWF champion for about 9 or 10 days. Kurt Angle was quoted the real athlete. It was most of the time the Cross Challenge boring. I don't know about this match. It was just pretty bad. There were some exciting moves, but it was just bleh. Kurt Angle got the victory. I give it a 2 out of 10, but it was just kind of Interesting enough, Jerry Lawler was not liking Kurt Angle, but then when Kurt Angle said, "You do not boo an American hero," all of a sudden Jerry Lawler jumped on the Kurt Angle bandwagon. Next up, we have Val Venus, Mark Henry, Gangrel, and Steve Blackman defeating probably one of the worst teams in Survivor Series history, the British Bulldog and the Mean Street Posse. This match was just bad. First off, you just had the good guys team jobbing the Mean Street Posse out. Bulldog comes back, but then Val Venus and Mark Henry wins. Just 2 out of 10. Then we have a sudden death women's match. 8 women's match. We have Moolah, Mae Young, Tori, and Deborah defeating Ivory, Terry, Jacqueline, and Luna Vachon in a horrendous, horrific, terrible match. Oh my god, this was bad. It was bad. The only thing good about this match was Jerry Lawler's commentary. It was pretty fucking funny. A dud. And that might be generous. A 0 might be generous. Then we have Kane defeating X-Pac via disqualification in a bad match. This is their big match that they have, and it's just bad. The former tag team partners turned against each other. X-Pac calling Kane impotent, whatever. Basically, Kane's not good in bed with Tori, whatever. I don't know. 2 out of 10. Sorry, I'm just running through this review. This show sucked throughout. It's just basically match. And then we get the bigger storyline when Steve Austin gets ran down. Then we get Big Show taking down Mideon, Viscera, Albert, and Bossman in a squash match. 0. Nothing to talk about. Big Show eliminated all his partners on Heat for some reason. and then eliminated everybody. 0. So we get to the car crash. What incident? Triple H is backstage with Steve Austin. Steve Austin chases after Triple H, and Steve Austin loses him. They're in this parking garage, and here comes a car, blinking headlights, crashes through the gate, and runs down Steve Austin. Steve Austin's there unconscious, and the car drives off. All of a sudden, here comes Vince, here comes Shane, here comes everybody. Vince yells at Triple H, "Damn it! Damn it all! You did this, you son of a bitch! You disgusting son of a bitch! Damn it!" And all I have to say is this storyline could have been the biggest storyline in the history of the Attitude Era, in the history of ever. But in the year coming up, we would find out who that would be, who the man ran down Steve Austin would be. And it ends up being the biggest bust of a storyline in the Attitude Era history. It was a good angle, but it just ended badly. So we get to China versus Chris Jericho for the Intercontinental title match. It's match of the night. It's a very good match. 6 out of 10. China hits the Pepsi plunge, a top rope pedigree. I guess CM Punk's also a thief, as well being a bitter old ass man too. This was a good match. Interesting note again, Chris Jericho said on Heat that if he did not beat China, he would get a sex change operation. I wonder why they didn't continue on that. Why didn't they actually go all the way and actually make Chris Jericho into a woman, be Christina or whatever? Hey, only in the Attitude Era. 6 out of 10, good match. Next up, we have Too Cool and the Hardys defeating the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian in a Survivor Series match. Hardcore Holly was his sole survivor. This was okay. It was good, but it was just really, really long and got boring. Not much else to say. I don't want to really ruin everything. 5 out of 10. Then we have the New Age Outlaws defeating Mankind and Al Snow to retain the tag titles. Boring. 2 out of 10. Then finally we get Triple H versus The Rock versus a mystery opponent now for the WWF title. Since Steve Austin was supposed to be in the main event, he gets ran down. The third man ends up being the Big Show. The man who just earlier this week buried his father, his dead father, and the whole thing where Big Boss Man calls the Big Show and says, with this poem to his dead father, he says, "With the deepest regrets and tears that are soaked, it's sad to say that you're dead, croaked." He was a good man, now he is buried and eaten by worms. Then on SmackDown, Boss Man steals his father's casket and drives away with it. This angle was funny, but I don't think it should have ended with Big Show winning the WWF Championship. This match was okay. I give it a 3 out of 10. It was just, why the Big Show though? It was a good storyline for him. Good feeling moment, but it was just stupid. Hindsight 2020, in all honesty, Test should have been the man who ran down Steve Austin, should have been the man who got in the triple threat and should have won the WWF title. It didn't really matter anyways, because Big Show would lose the championship a month later on a Raw episode. Triple H would get together with Stephanie, and eventually Vince McMahon would join forces with Triple H. Steve Austin would come back. Rikishi was the man that ran down Steve Austin. And everything just makes no fucking sense in the end anyways. Why? Because that's the fucking Attitude Era for you. All these great storylines and what they got to show for it. Nothing. Because none of these storylines really had any conclusive things. You had Big Show who gets the WWF title really for no stupid reason at all. Did losing his dead father and getting revenge on the Boss Man really equal the WWF title match? Did Triple H being the man who wanted did Triple H marrying Stephanie McMahon and getting revenge on the Boss, but just having the Boss team up with Triple H anyways make any fucking sense? No, it fucking didn't. Just like how Steve Austin getting ran down by Rikishi didn't make fucking sense anyways. This is the worst pay-per-view of the WWF in 1999. Survivor Series 1999 gets a 2.5 out of 10. I already did Starrcade, so I catch you next time for Armageddon. 1999 sucked. I'm almost out of here. Bye-bye.